8 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. My name is Laura and welcome to my knit night. I am not knitting because I'm on the rib and I'll talk about it in a bit. But I'm also going to try my absolute best for this podcast to not go on forever and a day like it normally does. So if you are a new viewer, hi, my name is Laura. I'm coming to you from Lowestoft in the most easterly point of England in the UK, and this is where I come to talk about knitting so that I don't drive my husband and 2-year-old and non-knitting friends crazy. And if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. I do realise that I do sound like an absolute oddball many weeks in a row. There are no show notes this week, so it may all go wrong. But yeah, this is episode 48. Today is Sunday the 18th of August. And it's been a big week, I suppose, for things. And I'm going to talk through them all with you. So I'm going to go into the knitting content first, after just a few little bits of admin. The first one is you can find me as The Lonely Knitter on Instagram, The Lonely Knitter 2 on Ravelry, and in the Lonely Knitter podcast group on Ravelry. There is currently a thread open for the shawl along. I'm running a shawl along with my friend Katie of the Geordie Knits podcast. We have a Facebook group. It is called Knit Along with Geordie Knits and the Lonely Knitter over on Facebook, and we have a shawl along it began it's this quarter. It's going till the end of September, going to the beginning of September. Go over to the thread or watch any other podcast or that I have filmed, because I've said it there, or link in the show notes below. I am giving things away. I am struggling with memory at the moment. Little things. 20, coming up for 22 weeks pregnant, and my brain has fallen out somewhere. If you see it, please hand it back to me. And I need a drink because I don't know if you can hear that my throat is going. I don't know why. I haven't got a cold. I just realised how gross that must look. This is chocolate milk. In the last few weeks since I've been pregnant, it's all I want to drink. Like some sort of odd 12-year-old. And it only tastes right if I drink it out of the bottle. If I put it in a glass, it doesn't taste right, so I don't share my chocolate milk. Don't know if you heard that. My husband just did the most epic sneeze from downstairs. It was loud in here, and he's on the floor below. So yeah, I know it is kind of gross. Apologies. I am swigging chocolate milk out of a bottle. I try not to do it in front of Ellie. I don't want her to pick up bad habits. Yeah, so throat is gone. I think that's the only admin thing that I was going to go through this week. The other thing I was going to say, I'll just say this now. I found out what my little boy is. If you haven't been over on Instagram and seen me chatting about it, I found out what my little boy is. Well, there you go. I found out what my baby is. It's a little boy. I'm not even going to edit that because it's just ridiculous. This is what my brain is like at the moment. I'm having a boy, which I was very surprised at. I already have a little girl, and I don't know, I just felt like I was having another girl. I'm very happy. I would have been very happy either way, but yeah, I'm having a little boy. I found out what my little boy is. What's going on? Let's get into the knitting, because it's gone 9:30. It's 9:38. I definitely need to go to bed sometime soon because speech is failing me. So onto the knitting. Finished objects this week, and I do have one, and it is socks again. These are the skein of Fruitful Fusion dyes that I got the other week in the Harvest colourway, and it is gorgeous, and it is everything you could think about autumnal yarn, and it's done, the way it's pulled is in this gorgeous stripes. It's so pretty. And I put on a faux cable cuff that is going to be part of my newest, my next sock design. But those are on hold for a little while because I have a few vanilla pairs that I need to make up. I just wanted to try out this cuff, but I really wanted this to be a vanilla sock. So I'm really feeling vanilla socks at the moment, and I am really wanting to knit a lot of vanilla socks at the moment. And I only have one pair of 80 centimetre 2.25mm ChowGoos, which is what I like to knit my socks on at the moment. And so I have to decide whether or not I want to knit a patterned sock or a vanilla sock. But vanilla socks I can knit everywhere, and patterned socks I quite often can't concentrate on when I am toddler wrangling. So vanilla socks are the love of choice at the moment. When I get myself another set of 2.25mm 80 centimetre ChowGoos, I will be able to knit more pattern socks. But until then, it is all vanilla sock all the time. So these bad boys are going into my box of socks, which is over here. And I think that means that I am officially caught up for the year. 1, 2, 3, 4, or am I still one behind? 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are still in August, just. So that is 8 pairs. So I now have a pair for every month so far this year, which is fabulous. I really wanted to try and knit a pair every single month of the year and be able to fill up my box of socks for the end of the year, and then have them, I would have a newborn and 12, hopefully more, nice new fresh pairs of socks to wear. So they are in my box. Lovely. Okay, on to the whips, because I'm going to plough through because I'm very tired. Whips. First one, I will put it on a blocker because I have a hoe. So I went to an antenatal appointment. My 20-week scan, it was over 20 weeks by the time I got in there, but I went to an antenatal appointment and I had just finished off those Fruitful Fusion socks, and I literally just kitchened them about 10 minutes before we left the house, and I suddenly thought, I have no socks, because I only have one pair of sock needles that I am loving on at the moment. So I ran and grabbed this skein of West Yorkshire spinners. It was this or nothing, because a lot of my hand-dyed skeins, or one of my other commercial skeins, there was no option for me to grab a hand-dyed skein because they are all skeined up, and I don't have a Swift at the moment, so it takes me quite a long time to wind one onto my ball winder because I have to have them spread across my knees and loop round really slowly so it doesn't all get tangled. I have got an amazing friend who is helping me rectify that situation very soon, though she knows who she is. But yeah, this is the West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. I've had it for a little while. I got it from my local yarn store. And do they have colourways or names? I actually have never looked at this. It has to have a name, but it doesn't say it. Maybe it was printed and has come off because there was some faint writing there. But it's 75% wool, 25% nylon. And I cannot for the life of me see the colourway, but it is like a really nice rainbowy, stripy, very bright yarn. And here we go. And because I was out when I finished the heel flat and was onto the gusset, I decided not to cut the yarn. I am regretting that now. I wish I'd cut the yarn here and carried on with the blue, so that from the green stripe it would have just been perfect striping down the foot. Instead I have this little stripe. No one else seems to think it's a big deal, so I'm sure I shouldn't. It's a little bit of Norwich City in there, a little bit of yellow and green. My husband is a Norwich City supporter, so there you go. But yeah, it is my usual. It's not a 20 stitch cuff because I finished the cuff as I was, we sat down. I went for the scan, had the scan, the baby wasn't in the right position to get the right pictures of its brain, and then heart. So we had to go for a walk and then come back, and when I sat down after we came back, I finished it off, and then she called me through and then I just started knitting. So I think it actually might be a bit longer than it usually is. And then this one I actually did 39 rounds around the leg instead of 40 because that landed me at the end of a stripe. And then normal heel flap and gusset, 50, I marked every 10 rows with rounds with stitch markers, 50 rounds down the foot, and then a wedge toe down to 14 stitches on the toe, because that is what I like, because I don't have lovely slender pointed toes. I have nice big size 7 clompers. So that's this one, and I finished this one off about 5 minutes before I came to video, and I have just started another cuff, and it is still on the 2x2 rib, which I can knit when I am talking, but I get distracted and I can't be bothered, so I'm not knitting it right now. But here we go, there is a hoe, fingers crossed. Well, no, it definitely will be finished next week, because as I said, this is the only set of CewCanJos that I currently have in the 2.25mm size, and therefore I have to finish the socks or I can't cast on new socks, and I love casting on new socks. So that's the first whip. My second whip is living in my SewCanJo bag. I love this bag. Jo sent it to me. She is an epic bag maker, and she has an Etsy store that she has promised us she will be filling soon, so keep your eye out. But you can follow her as SewCanJo on Instagram. And in here, living a project that I had to rip a little bit out of. It will be fine. This is a sample that I am knitting for my lovely friend Mia of Brambles and Me. She is having a stall at Perth Festival of Yarn, a booth at Perth Festival of Yarn, and I am knitting a sample of my Road to Perth shawl, which should be released in time for the festival. Well, it will be released in time for the festival. I had to pull back a little bit. I got to the end of my second section. I have shown this on the podcast before, my my own version, which I don't have. I don't know why I haven't got it up here to show you, but I got it to the end of section 2, put it all in my bag. The needle came out and it half unravelled. So I am back knitting up through section 2. I'll catch up easily. It's a real vanilla knit, even though it does have texture and it does have increases and pattern. It's a nice, I like knitting that I can just knit on, so quite a lot of my patterns I try and make them intuitive. I try and make them so you can memorize things, or I just try and make them so there is a lot of knit in there. So I'm still living in my SewCanJo bag with all my other gubbins, little notes on the pattern, Romney, Marshall's lanolin hand balm, a lip balm, a fine liner pen, and Katzenbjorg, stitch markers. There's like loads of gubbins in here. So what I have decided to do is try and stop it sliding off the needles. It's also being knit on this awful set of ponies, which for some reason were the only set of 3.25mm long cables that I could find. I hate ponies, but they're in my house, so can't whinge. And in here, this little bag dyed by Mia of Brambles and Me, there is her logo, is living the 2 gorgeous cakes of yarn. And I am at the moment, because it's still small, tucking the project into here. I need some of those stoppers that you push onto the end of your needle so it doesn't go sliding off. But for now, having it tucked into this little bag has meant that it is staying safe inside my big bag. So fingers crossed that won't happen again. So that's whip number 2, and whip number 3 is one that you won't have seen or heard about, because I just suddenly decided to carry on with this week. I am constantly inspired by Sharon of the SCR1TNO podcast. She is a lovely friend. She's my yarn mum, and every morning she gets up and in bed, she doesn't actually get up, she's in bed, and she knits a square on her Cozy Memories blanket. Now, I want a Cozy Memories blanket. I have a giant triangle that is half a Cozy Memories blanket, but I don't like any of the yarn in it anymore. A lot of it was old, commercial, acrylic, like stuff that I don't even like the colours. And I have a lot of lovely yarn nowadays, and a lot of minis in my stash, and stuff I've been gifted. And last year in Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, I was gifted a lot of minis to start one of these blankets, and then I just didn't get around to it, not properly. Well, now I'm doing it. After Unravel, I knit these 4 squares out of Dusty Dimples minis, and then I put it down, didn't do any more with it. So this week I've picked it up again, I've set it all into a bag. It's got the rest of the Dusty Dimples minis in, and I'm going to add in a square from every single pair of socks that I knit, and I am going to make myself, me, not anyone else, it's going to be for me, it's not going to be for my toddler, it's not going to be for my new baby, it's going to be for me. I am going to knit this. I'm going to try and challenge myself to knit 3 squares a week. I would love to knit a square a day, but I think quite often I have to get up in the morning and my toddler is awake and we go down, we start getting things done, and so I'm not sure I can get one done before I get out of bed. But definitely on the weekends, my husband, especially while I'm pregnant, is very good at being the one who does not have a lay-in and lets me have my lay-in, lets me chill out in bed, and he takes the toddler downstairs. So I'm definitely getting 2 squares done at the weekend, so that only means 1 more in the week to get done somewhere, and they don't take that long. So these 4 are Dusty Dimples minis. I got a set of, I think, 10 gram minis at Unravel. This one here is the Harvest colourway, just Harvest colourway by Fruitful Fusion Dyes that you've just seen those socks in. This one here is Flamingo Legs by Stranded Dye Works. If you've been watching the last few episodes, you'll have seen my vanilla socks in this yarn, and this is MCN, so very, very soft. And then down here started a new little row because I needed to get to a square. This is the Brambles and Me yarn that I knit my Nest Point socks out of. So this is what we have so far. I have put progress keepers on the ones that I've knit so I can take those off now and put them on the next week's ones. So yeah, hopefully this will slowly grow. Those are all my whips. Now I'm going to move on to stash enhancement. That was actually quite a good way to lead into stash enhancement because that project is currently living in this amazing new bag. This is definitely a lovely blanket size bag. It is huge. It's very big. It's very big. And it is from Busy Pottering. So I got a message saying would I like the last 2 of her Cornwall bags for some giveaways. And I was like, yes please, yes please, yes please, yes please. And she put them in post to me. And then they got here and they are huge. They are proper blanket size bags. And she said that I could put them both into giveaways if I wanted, or I could keep one. Now, people have said to me before, you can use this for a giveaway or you can just keep it. And I put it in the giveaway because I'm a good girl. But there were 2 of these and I wanted one a lot. So this one is mine. And I mean, just look at this, right? So this is one side, which I love. Like, obviously it's a Cornwall bag, but I am from a fishing town. My granddad was a Lowestoft fisherman, and I like the fishing trip across the front. I like it. But here's the bit that really gets me. I'm pretty sure that is pattern matching to, like, the limit. Look at the North Key. North Key. Like, that is across the seam. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Anyway, so it's a giant drawstring bag, and also, like, North Key for me is like where we shop, North Key Retail Park in Lowestoft. I was like, North Key. So it is a gorgeous, lovely big bag. I love this material up the top here, and then on the inside it has an absolutely giant pocket on one side in this lovely stripy material, and it says Busy Pottering on the inside, and there is this little tab with a lobster claw clip on it as well, and it's so nice. And it comes with this little card with her details on, so Busy Pottering and Instagram, and check her out on Etsy. Her bags are incredibly well made, incredibly beautiful. And then there's also this gold bulb stitch marker with a few themed stitch markers. There's a camera and an ice cream. I don't know if you can see that. And then a few little rings there. So I will probably keep those, but otherwise they might go into a giveaway in future. So this bag is housing my blanket at the moment. And then how nice is this postcard that she sent me with the message on? I just love that. And then this bag is the one that is going into the giveaway. Again, look at the pattern matching. Here is the seam that you can barely see here, and you still get this in knives. That is some skills. But yeah, beach. It was hard for me to pick because, again, seaside town, beach. But this one has lovely spots at the bottom and then little spots at the top. And then the pocket in here I love. So it's lined in the same fabric as the outside, but look at this pocket. Look at that blue and red and white, and then busy pottering on there again. And then look, there's other spots inside. And then this one also has the lobster claw on the little tab, and also comes with a card with the same stitch markers on and her logo. So whoever wins this will get the stitch markers as well. And it is a gorgeous bag, and it is so perfect for a blanket bag, a scrappy blanket bag. So if you win this, when I eventually put this up, so this might be a shawl along prize, or it might be another type of giveaway prize, depending on what giveaways, what I have available when it comes around to the end of the shawl along, and what comes up next in terms of subscribers, etc. But this amazing big bag, perfect for garments, would be perfect for a scrappy blanket. And if you fancied matching pretty much with me, we could scrappy blanket together with the same beach Cornwall bags. So that came, and I was incredibly excited, but something else came as well. And when this came in the post, I cried like a baby, like proper cried. And I am a crier, I'm not gonna lie, I am a crier, but someone did something for me, well actually for my baby, that was so beautiful and so kind. So I got a package that I was not expecting at all, had no idea it was coming, from my lovely friends Rosie and Emma at the Hairy Sheep podcast. If you don't watch their podcast, get over there, they're lovely. And I unwrapped it, it was beautifully wrapped. And inside, I've got to show you this first, it's just epic, was a teeny tiny little baby jumper with colourwork sheep, and it is so soft. It's so soft and it's so beautiful, and I love it to bits. And I cannot wait to dress my little boy in this. Like, before I knew that, like, I didn't know at this point that it was a boy. I think this came on Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. Or maybe it was Wednesday morning. Whichever it was, it came earlier in the week. And then I had my scan on the Friday morning. And I would have happily put this on a little girl, absolutely happy. I don't have an issue with colours for genders. It's got a lovely stretchy neck. That is amazing to go over a little baby's big head. But I would have happily put this on a girl. But now that I know it's a boy, it's very gorgeous and I'm gonna love it, and yeah. So this is, it's not Rosie's first attempt at colourwork. It's her first garment. So Rosie is one of the co-hosts of the Hairy Sheep podcast. Go and watch her podcast, it is fabulous. But this is her first garment and I own it. It lives in my house. I have someone's first garment. That's pretty epic. It's a first garment and it's colourwork and it's sheep and it's gorgeous and it's incredibly soft and it has a nice big stretchy neck for a baby head. It's like the best gift ever. I've always said this, as a knitter, if someone sends you a hand knit present, you know how much time and effort and love went into every stitch, went into every bit of that thing, and you treasure it even more. You know how to care for it. So many people have said to me in the past, oh, I'm not going to make you something because you could just make it yourself. If you make me something, I will treasure it more than anything I've made myself. Absolutely. So, and that is what I always say to people, but they don't believe me. But Emma and Rosie did. So this is my baby's first hand knit garment, because I have not knit a hand knit garment for this baby just yet. So that's going into my little baby pile. I have a very little baby pile of things that I have got so far. A couple of things I've bought, a couple of things I've been given, but nothing handmade apart from a little pair of booties and a hat. So I feel very, very honoured. And the second thing that came for the baby was this amazing pom-pom hat. It is sparkly, and I don't think the sparkle is showing up at all. I don't know what's going on there, because I normally don't have an issue with sparkle showing up, but there is sparkle in there. You wouldn't believe it, but there is. And it's probably a bit bigger than a newborn size. It's quite chunky. It's quite wide. I'll probably take it with me and see if I can get it on as the first one. She said it's not the softest. I think it's quite soft. But this hat is also incredibly, incredibly special. Look at it next to my giant head. Like, there is no way. What do you think, Emma? Rosie, can I pull it off? But this is the first thing that the Hairy Sheep ladies have knit from their hand spun. So this was not only knit, it was hand spun. So I am feeling incredibly, I can't get that sparkle to show, but I am feeling incredibly, incredibly blessed. I have some amazing friends who've just given me something. I've never had this before. No one knit for Ellie apart from me, and this means a lot to me. So thank you, ladies. And they also sent me, because they are amazing, lavender bags. Gorgeous lavender bags as well, absolutely beautiful lavender bags. I've just taken all these out of everywhere because one was living with my cozy memories and one was living with my shawl, and then this one, because I do have a lavender bag and my little one put socks in, this one's been living in my handbag, in my backpack that I take everywhere because it's lavender. And if you haven't watched before, you won't know, so I'll just sound really odd, but I am, during this pregnancy, I've always liked the smell of lavender, but it's like I've become obsessed with it, and I'm carrying one around with me, and every now and then just going, and I just love it. It's like catnip or, I don't know, something, but, oh no, we had a low battery warning. It's the best smell. I love that smell. There's something else in this as well. Either that or maybe it's a different type of lavender from the one I already have, but it smells really good, whatever it is. And she had these made for me because she knew, because I'd been saying for ages that I was like, lavender. So yeah, all the lavender folks, send all the lavender to me. Yeah, and they also sent me this little bag that had a few little goodies in it. It now does not have most of those goodies in. So the first one though is very special. I have kept this in the little bag, but I was going to put it straight onto my project bag that has all of my badges on, but I've kept it aside to show you. I have the Hairy Sheep podcast badge. I am incredibly, incredibly honoured to have one of these. I believe I might want to be one of the first few people to have one of these because they only announced them on their last podcast. So I have a Hairy Sheep badge. And that came in this gorgeous little bag with a few progress keepers, but they are the ones that I have used on my Cozy Memories blanket this week. So I have a very sweet little bow. And this, I love this one. It's like a pretty little jewel. And then a Hairy Sheep. So those are going to come off so that I can go on to my next set. So that is, this little bag is living with, I've put one of my Cat and Bjog stitches in there, stitch markers in there to mark the centre on my Cozy Memories. But they're all living in my Cozy Memories blanket bag. So I'm carrying them, a little bit of the Hairy Sheep around with me all the time at the moment. And that's everything that's come into my house. So the last thing that I was going to talk about was plans for this week. So I really want to knit with these yarns. This is the Stranger Things themed yarn, the Upside Down from Family Tree Yarns, and she sent me this vinyl as well. This is a sock design that I have in mind, and I'm going to use the vinyl for the heels, toes and cuffs, but I need to wind that yarn up. And as I said before, if I have pattern socks on the needles, then I can't have vanilla socks on the needles because I only have one set of needles that I am loving on at the moment. So that is holding fire just for a little while because I have some vanilla sock plans. So after I finish this rainbow sock, I have decided to do something with these skeins. So this is the Winter Solstice sock set from Lay Family Yarn. I bought these ages ago. It might have been last year. I'm sure it wasn't last year, but it was very early this year if it was this year. I was thinking that I was going to make some fingering weight garments, and I was thinking that I was going to make some fingering weight colour work garments. That didn't happen. And I've been looking at these for ages. I love them. They are beautiful. They come with this gorgeous mini. So it's 100 grams of the main skein and then 20 grams of the mini, and they're Lay Family yarn. I love Kelly's yarn. They're quite special to me, but I want to do something with all these special yarns. I want to stop hoarding all of these things that I say are special and actually knitting with them, because that is what makes them into something really, really special and shows that I love them. So I have an idea. I have a very, very good friend of mine who likes knitted socks, who can knit socks, so appreciates the time and effort that goes into knitted socks, who has really looked after me recently, been majorly there for me. There are a few people who have done this, so please don't try and guess who it's for, because there are a few people it could be, but these are particularly for one person. I want to have matching socks with this person. I adore this person. They have done a lot for me and they deserve it. Again, a lot of people fit into those categories. I have a lot of good friends now through the podcast because of you guys. I have a lot of good friends, but this is someone who really, I want to do this. I want to do this. So I am going to knit this person a pair of socks, and I will probably leave them as tube socks and let them do their own afterthought heels, because I'm mean. And then I'll knit myself a normal pair, but I want to have matching socks with this person. So I might try and ball these up this week and get vanilla socks cracking, because I'm going to see this person. I don't want to give away who it is, but I'm going to see this person at some point this year. There you go, that doesn't give away anything. I will see them before Christmas. And I want to give them to them. So I'm going to try and get at least one pair on the needle. So the next vanilla socks I knit after these West Yorkshire spinners are going to be a set of these. And then I'm going to try and plough on and knit mine straight after. So knitting plans, that's everything for this week. My whips that I'm currently working on, those will carry on, and then those will be the next socks when these ones come off the needles. Other plans, I'm just holding here my Nest Point socks, which I have shown already on the podcast. If you don't remember, this is the sock pattern that goes down the front of the sock, and I have now, this afternoon / evening, taken the pictures down at Nest Point. I went down to the seafront and took some pictures of these socks on my feet. I tried to get a few of my feet like in profile, looking down next to them. That's a lot harder to do with a human in your stomach than it was without one. Bending myself in half and having my phone level with my feet is a lot harder. So there aren't any shots like that in it. But I have taken the pictures and I am really happy with them now. So that sock pattern will be going up probably tomorrow on Ravelry. So it has been tested by some amazing testers and checked over a few times. The pattern has been edited and looked at. So hopefully, yeah, maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, I will have that pattern up on Ravelry. And now that I have said that and done that, I can pop those socks back in my box of socks. So there's my 8 pairs so far for 8 months of the year. I'm very proud of that. And get that all shut up. Okay. So that's everything that I have done and that I have planned knitting wise. There's only one last thing that I was going to talk about this week, and that is Patreon. This is seriously giving me hives. No, it's not, they haven't come out yet. I get rosacea, and when I get stressed and nervous, I get lumps come up under my skin on my face because I'm so scared. And it is getting a bit itchy all around here, but I am really hoping that I can calm down. I'm gonna go to sleep. It's gonna be fine. I do have some more of my steroid creams that I'm allowed to use on my face. I'm pretty sure, I would need to check the pharmacist first, but I'm pretty sure I can use them whilst pregnant. So basically, I have set up a Patreon. I feel like a fool. I'll go on to it now so I can read you my different tiers. It's not the easiest thing for me, and my lovely friend Katie, oh yeah, I'll talk about this in a little while, but my lovely friend Katie's gone and signed up. But so my reasoning, I have filmed a separate video that I'm putting with my Patreon to sort of explain why I have done a Patreon and what my reasoning is behind it. And mainly it is about being able to do giveaways and carry on. I have very limited yarn funds. Like the other week I had quite a lot of yarny things come into the house. That was my entire month's yarn budget because I didn't think I was going anywhere. Now I'm going to the Southern Wool Show and I'm like, spent all my yarn money. But also, you know, I only work part-time and I have a young child and another one on the way, and in the next couple of months I'll be going on maternity leave, and I will be losing some money every month from that, and that difference will be my entire yarn budget plus a little extra. So I won't really have any stash enhancement to show you, and doing things like giveaways and postage for giveaways is going to be something that becomes a little bit harder for me, and I will have to become a bit more creative. I don't earn any money from the podcast. I don't have ads on here yet. You never know in future if it looks like it could help add something to the podcast in terms of money for giveaways or anything. If I'm getting that many views, then that is something obviously that I would consider. But right now, it's not. And so I don't make any money from the podcast. I do make money from my patterns. I do try and sell them so that I can hopefully buy more yarn. But I do often use that money towards postage for giveaways as well. But I don't sell that many patterns, I'm not gonna lie. It's not a vast amount, so I'm not making any money there in terms of really funding anything. Not yet anyway, which is fine. I still sell patterns to my absolutely lovely online friends who have supported me, and when those little bits of money drop into that PayPal account, I am so grateful. I'm not ungrateful for any of this, and I don't think for a minute that anyone should sign up to Patreon for because they have to. Just listen to my reasons, they're in my book. So I want to fund giveaway prizes, I want to fund postage for giveaways, I want to buy podcasting equipment like lights and a camera. I film on my phone, I am fine with that, but I would love to have better lighting, and I'd love to be able to do it on a camera one day. And potentially, you know, if it went really well, fund trips where I could vlog, and support other members of the community by buying items to review and buying items to give away, and trying out other members of the community's products. So yeah, those are my sort of reasons for wanting to do this. I would have 3 tiers. I'll just show you my Patreon. So right now it's very new and it looks like this, and I haven't really raved about it anywhere, and it just has a list of the tiers and what you can get, and then you can click to sign up and pay with PayPal. It goes through on the 1st of each month, so it wouldn't charge you now, it would charge you on the 1st, and then it would wait a month and charge you again. For $1 a month, because it is an American site, Patreon, for $1 a month you would get a quarterly giveaway entry, personal thank you on the podcast, and a pattern test call out, or all the pattern test call out videos. So basically, when I have a new pattern, I will do a little video talking about the pattern, talking about maybe my inspiration, talking about how I came up with whatever I came up with, and giving you priority testing if you would like it. A lot of people have asked me for some sort of notification over testing, and that would give you it. So basically you can pay $1 a month, so it's what, 83p, to have a quarterly giveaway entry for every month that you pay. So it's like buying a raffle ticket. For $2 a month you get those things that the silver $1 a month category gets, but you also would get all of my patterns on Ravelry for free. So each month I would issue a download code, and you could, or promo code, and you could download any and all of my patterns for free. And then occasional rant / life videos. I've been wanting to talk about pharmacy. I work in pharmacy and other little things many times before on the internet, and this would be a place where I could come to give you that odd little extra insight into life things that go on with me. And then the last tier, the highest tier that I would have, would be $5 a month. And for that, you would get all those previous things. Plus, you would get an extra entry into a 6 monthly giveaway that is just for $5 a month subscribers. I will do a 6 monthly giveaway. I will try and make it something lovely. And yeah, it's just for the $5 ones. You would also still get that previous entry into the quarterly giveaway that everyone gets, but this is an extra thing on top. And other videos. So spinning, my e-spinner, it will be on its way in September. I have a drop spindle. I may well do some spinning with that, and just like other crafty bits and bobs. I bullet journal, and I like to sort of arty bullet journal, so I could potentially go through some of that. I have done quilting and sewing, so I'd happily chat about any of that, show any previous projects. You just get other little videos, other little bits of content and jibber jabber that comes out of me. So that's what you would get. So those are my 3 tiers, and it would just help me fund the podcast, carry the podcast on, and hopefully bring you more fun, etc. I do not I totally appreciate anyone who even considers signing up, but I do not want anyone to feel like obligated or that they have to sign up if they want to continue watching the day-to-day podcast. Now, I will try and continue my podcast as normal, hopefully weekly, probably a bit more spaced apart when this other baby comes. This podcast is a no pay to watch podcast. It will stay exactly the same. I appreciate that a lot of my viewers may not have even $1 a month to give me towards other little things. That's fine. I totally understand, and I myself have quite often been in that situation, and really I'm in that situation right now. I don't have a lot of spare cash to be signing up to things or paying out monthly. But if you would like to do it, then you get these extra giveaways, you get this extra little bits of content, so you're getting those extra things. You get my patterns, you're getting those extra things for that money, as well as the warm fuzzy feeling that you are helping me to carry this on and keep it something that is sustainable in my life, rather than something I just can't afford to carry on with and makes me a bit sad because I'm not doing everything I want to do with it. So yeah, if you would consider that, that would be something that I would just find absolutely epic. Right now I have 1 patron. I haven't shared it about very much yet, but I have got 1 patron supporter, and it is my amazing friend Katie of the Geordie Knits podcast. So right now Katie, she's in there on her own. If you want to join, then fine. If you don't, Katie I'm sure will be very happy because she'll be winning both the quarterly and the 6 monthly giveaway. So yeah, it's there if you fancy it. I will put the link below. If you don't, no bother. You're still absolutely, I feel honoured that you would choose to spend time with me and watching a podcast of me jibber jabbering on about my knitting for ages. And it is nearly 45 minutes, and I said this was going to be a short one. Never happens, does it? At least we're not over an hour. Swings and roundabouts. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the list of podcasts that I have watched this week because I haven't made show notes, so I will not remember everyone and I'll feel awful when I miss them. Obviously I've watched my usual, Katie of the Geordie Knits podcast, Sharon of the SCR12 TNO podcast, and her vlogs, SCR1 TNO. She's amazing, she is my yarn mum. I love all her vlogs, I love everything. Just go and watch it. And the Hairy Sheep, Emma and Rosie. They are like, those 3 are like the people I know incredibly well, and are like my knitting and partners in crime, and yeah. But to be honest, there are so many more as well, and so many people that I absolutely love, and friends that I have made, and just as always, you guys just make me feel like part of something where I kind of felt like I wasn't before. So I'm gonna go because it is late and I am tired. My eyes are starting to close and I need to finish this chocolate milk because it's been out of the fridge. I can't really put that back in now. And I'm not going to do it on camera because it is gross watching me swig chocolate milk out of a giant bottle. So I'm going to go, and thank you as always for making me so much less of a lonely knitter.